bad too. I don't know.
That is a problem. That's a big part of the problem.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, man, I learned quick. I had a buddy of mine who was selling. He was selling coke, and him and his girlfriend would just do blow all day. He lost like 30 pounds. He looked like a fucking skeleton. He'd hide in his attic all day. Yeah. Just watch TV and do blow. And I looked at him and was like, fuck cocaine, man. That does that? Fuck that. You know, people learn. You see people fucking up and you learn. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to learn from screw-ups in our environment. All right, it's the drug show here.
Every time I'm on, it turns into drugs.
What else we got,
comedy.
Do you want more drug guys, or you want to try some?
Let's see if someone's got a different.
Who has questions about rainbows?
About UFC stuff? Do you want to try that, Joe?
I had this discussion with my students. Yeah, put that guy on. The guy had this discussion with his students.
Dave from New York, go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Good.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I'm a teacher, man, and I've had this discussion in my class, even with regard to when you were talking earlier about outlawing it and the economic effects of it. You know, I believe that the government can even get rid of the drug trade here to a certain degree, or at least bring a lot of people to their knees, a lot of the big time kingpins, but that they choose not to because of the economic consequences of that. You know, and I've had this discussion in my classroom with my kids, and it's been a great debate with them, you know.
How old are your kids?
Well, I teach seniors.
Okay.
Yeah, seniors. They can kind of grasp the concepts, you know. They kind of already know that they're getting fucked too. I mean, by the time you're 17, you kind of realize that your parents are just dummies who had kids.
Is there any really hot seniors that you're going? Come on, there's got to be some fucking hotties. You're going, oh Jesus!
Listen, honey, you want some coke after school? Come back.
In 2 years, in 2 years when you're out of school. No, where do you teach? What state?
Well, I'm in New York right now, but I just came from Florida, so I've been teaching in Florida for the past year and a half.
Christ, Florida seniors.
Now, what do the kids? How do the kids mostly feel? Are kids like there's a lot of kids that are saying that drugs are bad, or other kids saying that the government's lying? Like, what do 17-year-old kids feel about this shit?
They think that weed should be legal. You know, but the one thing that I've heard too through the grapevine, and all of us know what's going on with our students. A lot of girls now are sniffing coke as an appetite suppressant.
Really?
So, and you were talking about education before. They know how bad the drugs are, but they feel that it's better to be thin and attractive for whatever reason.
Yeah, we got
a
fat friend who smokes cigarettes for that, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian smokes cigarettes to stay skinny.
Yeah, so you got to...
when you're 18 and white, you are invincible. And you're like, yeah, I know people get addicted, but I won't.
So
I am on top of the world.
You got.
How do you
know? That's a big part of it too.
How do you know what it's like to be 18 and black?
I had friends that told me.
How do you know what it's like to be 18 and black?
Oh, what do you mean? I don't.
Maybe they're invincible too.
Yeah.
No.
Why did you say 18?
No,
and white?
it starts at 9 when they're black.
Cops harass them and stuff. I watched. You never saw Boys in the Hood. Hello.
Here's the thing too. You got to educate these kids. That, they think cocaine is gonna keep the weight off. You got to tell them, look, if you're gonna be anorexic, you got to do laxatives. You got to, you can't. If you're gonna pick a disease and you want to have an eating disorder, do it right. Okay. You're gonna be a cross
Bulimia
addict.
is your choice.
Thanks a lot, dude. Thanks for calling in, man.
You're welcome.
Take somebody else, man.
Right. More drugs. Sure. Anthony from Virginia, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to call and agree with Joe on this, man. I mean, the fact is, if you ask anybody, hey, buddy, you ever tried cocaine or you ever do cocaine, and they say, oh, no, I don't do that. Nobody says, if you ask them why they've never done it, they never say, oh, it's because it's illegal. People don't make choices about drugs based on legality.
That's a good point.
That's a real good point.
Yeah, I've never done coke just because it seems so fucking harsh.
Yeah.
So nobody I've ever asked. I mean, I've asked hundreds of people this question, and the same thing holds true. And Joe, to jump on yourself a little bit more about this, I mean, if you could get some kind of leverage around, trying to get some support around the drugs thing, all you have to do is say, look, let's legalize everything and use all the money that we create government-wise to fund education.
Yeah, but the problem is
parents behind it.
The problem is the money would go to the government. It's just like your taxes. Where the fuck does it really go?
Yeah.
I know. You're always going to.
How much education is there for alcohol abuse?
Yeah, like zero. Yeah, all that money that goes to tobacco. How much education is there to tell kids that tobacco's bad for you? It's like a fucking commercial. Every couple of years you see something. Just say no to smoking.
Thing you can possibly do.
Yeah, the cigarette numbers are really insane. If you think that the government is protecting you, alcohol is an herb. It's a plant, just like marijuana is, except it's a plant that kills 500,000 people a year in this country alone, man. I mean, that's a crazy number.
I've done every single drug imaginable besides maybe like a heroin or crack, and I can tell you by far, alcohol, I've done more stupid stuff by drinking a couple of beers than anything I've ever done by doing shrooms or acid or any of the other things I've tried in my life. Alcohol by far is the worst.
Here's how what I think. This weekend, if people are getting high or drinking and they come to Governor's in Levittown where I'm at, it's not going to really bother me if they come Friday.
What if they're doing coke, Rich?
If they're doing coke, as long as they buy my DVD after the show.
What if they can't shut the fuck up? What if they're doing coke
I'm gonna
and they
fucking
just
trash
jawing
them.
in the audience?
I know how.
Yeah, cigarettes are the fucking worst. It's the biggest killer, and it makes your pussy stink. So
That
stop
should be
listening.
illegal.
I quit smoking almost 6 months ago.
Girls who smoke cigarettes, they
Stop
always have
smoking.
like a weird smell of their pussy. It's always just this weird fucking funky disease. Like your body's fighting it off in every cell, and your pussy's not spared from that stink.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's in your yellow fingernails, and your skin's a weird gray color, and your pussy smells like death.
Have
Holla.
you ever smoked? Have you ever smoked cigarettes?
I smoked once when I was 15. I tried it. I didn't like it. I quit. I got a joke about blowjobs are way more addictive. I go,
Yeah,
you
you
get one
like
good
that joke.
blowjob when you're 15. You're fucked for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Blowjobs just haunt you like a bad memory.
All right.
What do we got?
Craig from New Jersey's got a question for Joe. Go ahead, buddy.
What's going on? Yo, first off, I'm pretty stoked that Opie gave you the reins, Joe.
Thanks, man.
You hate Opie?
Yo, so what's up with these lollipops? Like, are they worth it? Where do you get them?
Well, I get them in California. In California, they have these medical marijuana dispensaries. They call them wellness centers. It's hilarious. You walk into a fucking store. I mean, it's basically a store. You show them your prescription, and you buy weed. You know, and the place that I go to, you buy it with a fucking credit card. I pay for it with American Express. Buy just bags of weed. I buy pot soda, pot lollipops.
pot soda.
Yeah, but you got to have the.
Gotta have a prescription.
But how do you get
So
the prescription?
You go to the doctor. The doctor
Tell
says, "What's wrong?" You say, "I get headaches." When do you get headaches? Whenever I think about the fact that pot's illegal. Bang! You got a prescription.
Really?
Yeah, it's that fucking easy. They're trying to give away prescriptions. My doctor's hilarious. He's this cool old black dude. He was an emergency room surgeon for 25 years. So he just saw fucking gunshot wounds and people getting run over by cars and shit. And now he just dispenses weed. And when you walk into his office, the first thing he says, "You look sick. You look sick, my man. You need some medicine. You need some healing. How about you, my friend? You look sick too. Sit down. I'm gonna be right with you." And he just like looks at you, man. Isn't weed a wonderful thing? Isn't it wonderful? Like, dude, it's the best, man. Would it be a better world if everybody smoked weed? I go, it would be a better world. And he's just writing my prescription while he's saying that.
He really thinks it's like it's not
Fucking
harmful
awesome.
at all, and it's like, why shouldn't people have it if it'll help them out?
It's all it is. It makes people nicer. It makes people more relaxed, and all the prejudice that we have on it is all based on propaganda. Yeah, there's some fucking dumb stoners.
And the good
out
thing
there,
about
but there's some
California-
dumb everything out there. There's all kinds of dumb people, and if you get a fucking retard high, they're still gonna be retarded. What's up, dude?
Yo, so how long do you think before Jersey's like California?
I don't know, man. People got to fight for it. The thing about California is it's the most progressive state in the country, so people have been fighting for it for a long time. And in 1996 is when they passed this Proposition 215 and made it legal. So they got to fight for it. There's 11 states right now that have medical marijuana, and it's growing. But you know what, man? It's not an easy battle because it's a battle of education. It's people even in California. There's a city near my house in Agora where they don't want it, so they booted it out and they passed a law. You can't have a medical marijuana dispensary in Agora. You know, it's real weird because it's state legal, but it's not federally legal. So if anybody people complain, then the federal government, the DEA, can come down on them. It's all fucked up, man.
When you say about marijuana, I don't know, whatever in jail. Now, these aren't just marijuana that's been busted with like an ounce or less that are doing.
No, a lot of it's dealers, you know. But I mean, people get busted in certain states. You get busted with a joint, you go to fucking jail.
Yeah,
you go to jail for like 6 months in certain states.
No.
Yes, man. There's some zero
Certain
tolerance
places it's way
states.
harsher than other places.
Yeah, there's a lot of states that are living in the fucking 30s. They don't know what's going on.
Think about this too in terms of like when it's going to be in New Jersey, like legal or have. California was the first one to outlaw smoking inside.
Yeah.
And then how long did that take for New York to catch